Younger women date older men. So if you were fool enough to date a woman that's your age, you're 45 and her 45, oh, it looks big different, super different, especially if she had a couple kids. Now, if she was an average woman, which means not very impressive, her only value was her vagina. And now that's not even valuable anymore. Not after them kids came out, and not after she's aged and lost much elasticity in her skin and other things as well. So now she's just a burden to you. And they've always been weak. They always require a doctor for this, a doctor for that. And now she's actually old. So she's also dealing with aging. So now she's even more expensive to you. They expire quickly. And they don't realize that they need to invest early to secure the man who will provide for them. Now, I tell you what, if you're a goon out there, shout out to all my goons listening. If you look at Shorty, you're like, you know what, Shorty, you never really loved me. You never really was down for me. You never really served me. I want y'all to wake up tomorrow morning. Don't even do it today. Wait till you wake up in the morning just to be grimy with it. And make sure you have some cameras filming too, because she's definitely going to react violently. I want you to wake up in the morning, roll over next to her, and be like, it's over. It's over. And when she says why, I want you to tell her like this. Because you never gave me any of the greatest values that a woman can offer a man. Your greatest value was your attractiveness and the vagina. And the vagina is no longer good and you're no longer very attractive. So I think I'll just replace you with someone more attractive who still has good vagina. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. I've already started to pack your stuff. You can finish it up or I can call you a task rabbit. Anyways, I got to go on a Tinder date. Bye-bye. And then just dip. You heard me, just dip. Believe the camera's rolling because there's about to be a lot of property destruction. You heard me? You're going to have to sue her to get that on the back end. Anyways. Yes, you got to deal with their emotional instability. It's a major burden, my boy. Then you deal with their weakness. They have fragile health. And more importantly, they seek great comfort. Imagine you're building, you're trying to come up. You're in your late 20s, your early 20s, or you're a teenager. You're on the come up. And you, as a result, are trying to save money on accommodation. So maybe you don't live in the best neighborhood. You save money on furniture. Maybe you're living on a futon mattress that's on the floor. You don't need a bed frame. It's not necessary. So you're saving. Girl comes over to your house. You can't get a couch or nothing? You ain't got no TV? You don't have a Netflix subscription? Oh, man, they're consumers, aren't they? They expect you to have everything, no matter what age you are, no matter what your circumstance is. Doesn't matter. You just got hit by a hurricane. You just had to move into a whole new place. They expect you to already be set up. Even if they're not set up, even if they don't have a Netflix subscription, they expect you to have one. It's fascinating how they come in asking for so much, contributing so little. A burden. They feel like they must be in comfort. A burden and expense. And then they require safety, right? So certain things you can't do with them. Certain countries you can't travel to with them. Certain neighborhoods you can't live in lest they would complain constantly. And it's funny how they're like, oh, I don't want to. No, we can't stay at that hotel. Like, did you see the neighborhood? It's like, but shorty, you go to the club and you're around people who are filled with alcohol and you're twerking. I find that to be extremely dangerous. You're around males who are naturally aggressive and naturally larger than you. They're filled up with alcohol, which causes poor behavior, and you're wearing nearly no clothes and you're twerking on the table. You don't think that's not safe? That's safe to you. Okay. All right. Got you. But you're too good to stay in this hotel because it's not in the right neighborhood. It's not a 5-star. Okay. Fascinating. Fascinating. Shout out to you for being a completely lunatic individual. Then time. Here's the worst piece. They require so much time and attention. Those without purpose, oh, they require so much attention because their heads are empty. They need you to keep them engaged. Boring people are boring people. Yeah. Yeah, chick was like, I'm bored. That's because you're brainless, love. You don't have any thoughts. You need externalities to interact with. People who have thoughts, they don't even need a lot going on. You know, they can read books. They can learn about current events. They can have good conversation. They can people watch. People who are brainless, they need high levels of stimulation. Because they don't have two brain cells to rub together. People who are intelligent, you can use your brain and so much is you have an inner world. People who are brainless, they require the outer world to be highly stimulating. Life has to be a video game to them. And as I was saying, the woman is a burden on your time, which reduces your time to build your fortune, reduces your time to create your financial base, reduces your time and focus to do all of the things that will allow her to live the lifestyle that she thinks she's entitled to, even when she's not. Huh? Come on now. Ladies and saints, let me acknowledge some of the folks supporting the work. Shout out to Major Mind and Soul. He writes, one of my mentors once said, quote, every woman is a headache, end quote. They are a necessity, but choose wisely. King's disease is a real thing. This man is speaking what you would call the facts. But for those of us who are wise and we know that we're fallible humans, you have to forgive yourself as quickly as possible and do the smart thing of not repeating errors if possible, and make sure that the credits exceed the debits, which is to say that you're doing more right than you are doing wrong. Huh? And let's get to work. Let's try some new things. Let's not harp on the past or on negativity. We just have to do better. That's it. That's human life. And don't be embarrassed. You're going to screw up. People are going to see you. Some might laugh at you. Some might tease, but they matter not. The only people who really matter are the ones who mess with you and support you. That's what you have to focus on. When you're without purpose, you need to keep yourself busy. And if you're not much of an intellect, then you need to have something to keep you excited, because you can't ever get joy from sources within the mind, from intellectual conversation, from truly relating to someone, from seeing something beautiful such as a sunset or a natural wonder. You have to have experiences and activities that you have to pay to do. And so that's why they want to do everything. Yeah. They're also a burden in terms of your own personal safety and freedom, because you are supposed to be a super He-Man and protect them no matter what, even if they're soliciting negative attention or if they pop off at the mouth, with which they're inclined to do. And you have to step in as a crash dummy and get beat up or beat someone else up and potentially end up in jail. Why? Just because that's what the society told you to do. Huh? Come on now. Yes, they are a major burden to the man. Then you have the fact of their emotional stability not always being there, but you can't correct them appropriately, right? Then they hit you with all kinds of things, sometimes charges, and other times they just want to ruin your reputation. They tell everybody he's emotionally abusive. I'm not speaking from experience. I'm fortunately really good at picking them. But for the average guy, he's emotionally abusive. Then they want to spread all this nonsense and ruin your reputation, right? And then the biggest part is the expiration date. They are the greatest burden when all of the values that they basically try to lead with, which is their sexual appeal, when that is gone out the window when they're 45 plus and you're me, they're not really looking that good. Well, you still got to hold on to them and deal with them and pay for all their stuff. And it's really unfortunate at that point, because you only had Shorty because she was turbo thick and, she gave that sloppy toppy. And now she's, droopy and saggy and wrinkly. And you still looking kind of good, though. You heard me? Yeah, you still looking kind of good, player. And here's the thing: younger women date older men. So if you were fool enough to date a woman that's your age, you're 45 and her 45, oh, it looks big different, super different, especially if she had a couple kids. Now, if she was an average woman, which means not very impressive, her only value was her vagina. And now that's not even valuable anymore. Not after them kids came out, and not after she's aged and lost much elasticity in her skin and other things as well. So now she's just a burden to you. And they've always been weak. They always require a doctor for this, a doctor for that. And now she's actually old. So she's also dealing with aging. So now she's even more expensive to you. They expire quickly. And they don't realize that they need to invest early to secure the man who will provide for them.